What is up, guys? Pup T from Life, Liberty, and the Homestead. In today's video, I just want to say thank you in it. But before we begin, follow Baby Lulu's head, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, give me some wild comments. Y'all are crazy. And let's get this video started. Woo! So before I get into the thank you, I need to redo my turkey roost. Now, I see a design flaw. I get it. I should have, instead of having the 2x4s being flat, I should have had them with the 2-inch portion going across. So it's more like a branch, right? Okay, I get that. I'm just wondering why the turkeys haven't used it at all. So, my thought is I'm going to take the 2x10s that I have that are doing the side support. I'm going to take them off of this post here and run one diagonal out this side and one kind of out this side, and then have the 2x4s going up. So there will be, you know, the longest 2x4 will be on the bottom, but then they'll get smaller as they go up. So I think that'll give me more roosting bars, and then I'll fix my flaw and have them rotated so it's more like a tree branch. So let's get to it. So I'm going to cut 30-degree angles on these boards, so when I put it up, it will be, you know, it'll have an angle to it going into the 2x10. So that is my goal. And I'm going to cut them at different lengths. So I'll do one that just cut the ends off of the 8-foot, 7-foot, and so on. Now that we got our boards all cut, we're gonna head back over to the pole barn and start putting it up. Come here, Max. So, give you a little update too. On the last video I talked about when we got all the new chickens and roosters and the 2 lamb that we were going to be changing some things up on the homestead, and we definitely have. This week we sold Oliver, Tommy, Tiny Tim, and Baby Leo. So we did end up getting rid of 4 of our Nigerian weathers, and Leo was still intact. He's a little buckling. But the reason we did is we got a new Kiko buckling. His name's Max, and he's 4 months old, and he's super friendly. Oh my Max. He loves to be petted. I got him from Windy Hill Farm out of Jackson, Tennessee. Very nice place. The owner was super friendly, very easy to conversate with, and if I had any questions, I could ask him then, or I could even call him in the future. So we got Max, and we'll probably be looking for some at least Kiko crossbreed does, and kind of start our venture in building our homestead and becoming like goat farmers. And that will be possibly a source of income. I don't know. But that was my thought and kind of my idea. And talked to the wild one, and she's down for it. So I think that's what we're going to start doing. But back to these roosting bars. So I'm going to go get the roosting bars that I just cut, bring them inside here, and start putting them on. So I'm really hoping, thank you, Richard. I'm really hoping this solves the turkeys roosting, so they'll roost on these bars. But we shall see. But the main purpose of this video was not to show you me building roost bars for our turkey. But I did want to involve a project inside of the video. But the main reason for this video is tomorrow's Father's Day. And I want to give a huge thank you to two people that have been in my life. One for, you know, my entire life, and the other for the past, I couldn't even tell you, since 2007, 8, 9, somewhere around there, I don't know. But a long while. So the first one is CJ, my brother-in-law. I want to say thank you for always being there when I have a question on motorcycles, any type of engines, building stuff. You're number one on my dial when it comes to that. I appreciate it and I love you. The second person and the most important thank you goes out to my dad. I don't remember a day without my dad. And it's funny, when you're a kid, you want to grow up and be like your dad. You know, I remember putting on he would wear these long tube socks, and they would have like a red band, 2 red bands, or yellow or green, whatever. And I would pull them up and they'd go up past my thigh, you know. And I'd wear them for a little while and walk around. However, there's one thing I would never do that my dad would always do. When he mowed the grass, I didn't even go outside. I went around him, because he'd wear these short cut-off shorts, and he'd wear those tall tube socks. I don't know, but I always wanted to be my dad. And you know, when he was my Corey League baseball coach, he would throw band practice and stuff like that, and I felt like the luckiest kid on earth, because my dad was coaching me playing baseball, a sport that I love, still love to this day. And you know, I still remember how he taught all of us, but taught me how to stay in the box by putting a helmet bag behind us, so if we stepped out, we'd fall over. I mean, there's several things in my head that I remember growing up about my dad and things that he did. When I was super young, 4, maybe 5 years old, my dad at the time, I believe, was an apprentice journeyman, and he worked 2 hours from our house. So he would go Monday morning, he would drive 2 hours and stay the week in Springfield, Illinois, and then he'd come back Friday night. And one particular night, he came back Friday night, and he was in his room, and you know, he'd call me in there while I was unpacking, so that wasn't uncommon. He's like, "Hey, come on in here," you know. So I come in there, and as he turns his head, I just see his eyeballs pop out of his head. And it's dangling. Ding, ding. I mean, scared the bejesus out of me. It was those silly glasses you can buy with the springs and the eyes. It was so scary, and I guarantee you he was dying laughing. If not on the outside, on the inside. He told me, "Yeah, if you get hung upside down for too long, your eyeballs will pop out of your head." And he turns me upside down, and I'm screaming. I was probably crying and stuff like that. He was also the first person to teach me inadvertently how to shave. I was probably around the same age, and he said, "Oh, you got a little mustache growing." So I'd take my bath, razor was on the bathtub, cut my lip. Oh, it was horrible. But you know, my dad always gave me bits of wisdom. He never really told me exactly how I had to do anything. It was always like a choice. So one particular event memory was, I was probably 15, maybe 16 years old, and my girlfriend lived in the same neighborhood my dad did, and he was like, "Be home at 10 o'clock. I said, "Okay." So I walk in the door. He said, "What time is it?" I said, 10 o'clock. He said, "You're late." I was like, "How am I late? You told me to be here home at 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. He said, "If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late." And that has stuck with me my entire life from that moment forth. It served me well in the Army, I do it even to this day. If I have nowhere to be, but there's like, say a store opens at 10 o'clock that I want to be at, I'll be there 15 minutes early almost every single time, if not earlier. So, but Dad, if you do watch this, I want you to know I love you. Dad, I can't say enough good things about you. You know, he goes by several names: Wally, Walter, WD, Dad, Grandpa. You know, I know everyone that has ever come across you, you know, they've always enjoyed you. You've always been the life of the party. I just want to say I love you and thank you. Thank you for, you know, giving me the opportunity to learn versus just showing me how to do everything. I mean, it served me well. It's something that I've done with my boys. They probably don't like it or understand it, but hopefully one day they will. But I love you. Back to the turkey roost bars. I think as dads too, something we often don't really think about, but we're our kids' first superhero. The first person they look to when they're, you know, sad or crying and need somebody to boost them up. You know, moms are there, they'll baby them, give them the Band-Aid, stuff like that. Dads are there to rub the dirt on and tell them don't cry, stuff like that. But, you know, if you think about it, you're your kid's first hero. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And it may not seem that way as they get older because they want nothing to do with us, but, you know, try not to take it to heart. You know, if your kids seem like they move on from you, they never do. They're just, you know, trying to figure out who they are, what they want to be. And 9 times out of 10, you know, they want to be something like you. Oh, not what I want to do. So that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. So instead of following baby Lulu's head like we usually do me one favor instead. Call your dad, text your dad, email your dad, send him a card, give him a high five, give him a hug, tell him you love him. Whatever it is you normally do that tomorrow. And I'll see you on the next video.